The law specifies that the nominated legislature cannot join any political party within the 6 months of being appointed to the House. Anti-defection law 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1985 में लाया गया, ठीक है, एंटी डिफेक्शन अब फर्स्ट पॉइंट को अगर हम देखें, द लॉ स्पेसिफाई दैट द नॉमिनेटेड लेजिस्लेटर, अब आप देखो कि राज्यसभा में कितने लोग अपॉइंट नॉमिनेट होते हैं प्रेसिडेंट के द्वारा, तो 12 मेंबर नॉमिनेट होते हैं, 12 मेंबर्स ये नॉमिनेट होते हैं, ठीक है। सो अगर ये जो नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर है वो किसी पार्टी के तो होते नहीं है, गेटिंग माय पॉइंट। सो अगर ये नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर जो है विद इन 6 मंथ ऑफ बीइंग नॉमिनेटेड इन द हाउस अगर किसी पार्टी को ज्वाइन करते हैं तो उनकी मेंबरशिप कैंसिल नहीं होगा, दे कैन ज्वाइन, ओके। बट अगर ये नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर आफ्टर 6 मंथ ज्वाइन करते हैं तो उनकी मेंबरशिप कैंसिल हो जाएगी एंड उनकी जो एक्टिविटी है वो एंटी डिफेक्शन लॉ के अंतर्गत आ जाएगी। तो अगर नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर है तो विद इन 6 मंथ कैन ज्वाइन, ठीक है, विद इन 6 मंथ ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं, लेकिन आफ्टर 6 मंथ दे कैन नॉट ज्वाइन एनी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, ओके। क्लियर है। और जो इंडिपेंडेंट जो मेंबर होते हैं, इंडिपेंडेंट जो किसी भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के टिकट पे इलेक्ट होके नहीं आए हैं, दे कैन नॉट ज्वाइन एनी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी। अगर वो इंडिपेंडेंट जो मेंबर है वो किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को ज्वाइन करते हैं तो उनकी मेंबरशिप क्या हो जाएगी, कैंसिल हो जाएगी और उनकी यह जो एक्टिविटी है वो एंटी डिफेक्शन लॉ के अंतर्गत आएगी और उनकी मेंबरशिप कैंसिल हो जाएगी। तो फर्स्ट क्या है, रॉन्ग है। नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर कैन ज्वाइन पॉलिटिकल पार्टी विद इन 6 months. Now second point, the law doesn't provide any time frame within which the presiding officer has to decide a defection case. अगर कोई नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को ज्वाइन करता है आफ्टर 6 मंथ, तो ये कौन डिसाइड करेगा, या डिफेक्शन केस को कौन डिसाइड करेगा, प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर ऑफ दैट हाउस। और कोई देयर इज नो प्रोविजन, देयर इज नो टाइम फ्रेम within which the presiding officer has to decide the case related to defection, okay। but supreme court ने कहा है कि within 3 months presiding officer has to decide, but this is not given in anti-defection law, so this is correct. So only option B is the correct. Done. Now the next question. Consider the following statement. Attorney General of India and Solicitor General of India are the only officer of the government who are allowed to participate in the meeting of the parliament. देखिए, under Article 76 there is a provision of Attorney General of India or Attorney General for India, okay, and he is the highest law officer of Government of India. He represents Government of India in different courts of the country in which central government is one of the party, okay। Attorney General of India can participate in the sitting of Parliament, can speak in the Parliament, can be a member of any committee of the Parliament. He can be a member of any parliamentary committee. He can speak in the Parliament, in the Parliament, maybe lower house or upper house, Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha. He can participate in the proceeding of the any house of the Parliament. He can sit in any house of Parliament, but without right to vote. And this privilege is only given to Attorney General of India, not Solicitor General of India. This privilege is given only to Attorney General of India, not Solicitor General of India. Solicitor General of India helps Attorney General of India in his function, in his performance of his duty, and this privilege is not given to Solicitor General of India. Okay, so this is wrong statement. Now second, according to the Constitution of India, Attorney General of India submit his resignation when the government which appoint him resign. This is not given in the Constitution. Generally there is convention that when a council of ministers resign or the government that appointed Attorney General of India is resigned. Look, Attorney General of India is appointed by the President and he shall remain in the office until pleasure of President or indirect may until the pleasure of government. So when the government resign, government of the time or government that appointed Attorney General of India resign, he also resigned. Attorney General also resigned. This is the convention. This is not given in the Constitution. So though this statement is correct, but because this is not given in the Constitution, this is only a convention, so statement second is wrong. So neither first nor second is correct. Now the next question. With reference to the writ issued by the court in India, consider the following statement. Mandamus will not lie against a private organization unless it is entrusted with a public duty. Mandamus. Mandamus is a kind of writ issued by Supreme Court under Article 32 and High Court under Article 226. But mandamus is issued against the public authority. Mandamus can be issued only against the public authority, not private individual or not private organization. But if any private organization or any private organization or any private person is entrusted with a public duty, then mandamus can be issued by the court against him if he failed to perform his public duty. So mandamus cannot be applied or cannot be issued against private organization unless and until it is entrusted with a public duty. So this is correct statement. Mandamus will not lie against the company even though it may be a government company. Look, अगर कोई गवर्नमेंट कंपनी है तो पब्लिक अथॉरिटी हो गई, and if public authority and that is not performing his public duty, then mandamus can be issued by the court. So mandamus will not lie against the, so this is the wrong. Okay, अगर कोई पब्लिक कंपनी है, गवर्नमेंट कंपनी है, तो मैंडमस कैन बी applicable, can be issued by the court against him. So second is wrong. So if second is wrong, so option first is wrong, option second is wrong, and option third is wrong. So we are only left with option C. So first and third is correct. Okay. Now next question. With reference to the Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha, consider the following statement. As per the rules of procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha, the election of Deputy Speaker shall be held on such date as Speaker may fix. बिल्कुल सही बात है, बिल्कुल correct statement है. There is mandatory provision that the election of a candidate as Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha shall be from either the principal opposition party or ruling party. Look, there is convention. There is convention that if speaker is from ruling party, so deputy speaker should be from opposition. And this is a convention, not binding, not mandatory. Okay, this is only convention and not binding, not mandatory. Okay, so second is wrong and first is correct. If second is wrong, then option B shall be wrong and option D shall be wrong. Now deputy speaker has the same power as the speaker when presiding over the sitting of the house and no appeal lies against his ruling. बिल्कुल correct है. If deputy speaker preside the house, then he shall have the same right and privilege as speaker of the house. So this is the correct point. So now fourth, the well-established parliamentary practice regarding the appointment of deputy speaker is that the motion is moved by the speaker and duly seconded by the prime minister. So there is no any kind of rule. There is no any kind of rule regarding the election of the deputy speaker. So this is incorrect. So we are left with only option. This option is also wrong. So only of point first, statement first and statement 3 is correct. So option A is the correct answer. Okay, so option A is the correct answer. Now next question. In the Government of India Act 1919, the function of provincial government were divided into reserve and transfer subject. Which of the following were treated as reserve subject? So administration of justice was of justice, local self-government, land revenue and police. These are the 4.4 statement. We have to select whether which statement comes under reserve subject. So can you guess? Local self-government comes under transfer subject. So if point second comes under transfer subject, so this cannot be the answer. Option where point 2 is there. So option A is cancelled, option B is cancelled, and option C is cancelled. So we are left with only option C. So option C is the correct answer. So in reserve subject, what was there? Administration of justice, land revenue and police was in reserve subject.